Hello.
Hi there. Uh, I, I'm
Halo
Welcome.
Ivy.
2,
Let's
but
go.
better.
Exactly. I'm ibigblue. I have Dubzo and Sorix helping me out with commentary, and we're gonna be doing Halo 2 speed mod. Time starts when I
Yes.
accept this button prompt. So three,
Yep.
2, 1, go.
Okay, so the main thing to note is that this category is called Speed Mod. It's playing a modded version of Halo 2, which makes the game a better speedrun. The first major thing is that we start on Cairo Station rather than Armory, as Armory is simply tutorial level, not very enjoyable. So we're getting straight in on Cairo. The other major thing is that we're going to be skipping or speeding up the auto-scrollers of this game. Halo 2 is notorious for those, so we'll be skipping those. And the last major thing is that we spawn with Energy Sword on every level now. Energy Sword is a great tool in Halo 2 speedruns because it allows for a bunch of tricks. One that we're doing right now off the bat, which is a sword fly. Blue gets the
Yeah.
tram skip second try. It's a really tricky trick. You have like the window of about half a second to get through that door with a sword fly. Sword fly itself, if you're not familiar with Halo 2, Energy Sword lunges you to an enemy if you have a red reticle. The red reticle's range is pretty much melee range, but Halo 2 is glitched and your primary weapon's red reticle can be used to do this lunge of the sword, i.e. sword fly. So we can fly from huge distances, especially with sniper rifles and rockets.
So
Move
Yeah.
if
forward.
if you're not too familiar with the game, you may not have noticed it there, but like that door opened up like maybe 10 seconds faster than it does in a usual playthrough. So there's also like a lot of little optimizations like that within the mod just to speed some stuff up.
Yeah, less
Yeah.
time waiting, more time playing. That's the main thing in
Yeah.
this mod.
Exactly. So for that tram skip, you may have noticed as well that he was killing Marines right at the start. And as Dubzo mentioned, you can only do sword fight with a red reticle, not a green one like the other allies. So that's why he had to kill some Marines to aggro them.
Make the Marines into enemies.
Yeah.
Also, as you just saw here, sword cancel. So as well as the sword fly, there's another trick called the sword cancel, where we lunge at an enemy, but then we cancel the damage with a reload press. This allows us to carry the lunge, but not actually hit the enemy and go over their head. Sword
Yeah.
cancels and sword flyers are used at alternate. You'll be seeing a lot in this next section. Just fly around the
And
corridors.
you can also like sword canceling isn't like completely separate to sword flying either. They kind of go together because most sword flies you are gonna end up canceling the launch, so to go over the enemy as well. So you use them kind of.
Simultaneously, yeah.
Yeah.
Most sword flyers will also be sword cancels. Unfortunate spawn there. A bit unlucky. Wanted to go for a fly across this section, but elite spawn there is RNG. It's one of the things that this mod doesn't do often. It doesn't give you guaranteed spawns, as we think that would be pushing it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Really good
Only
clear
it
here.
it does manipulate some RNG things to make them more consistent, but
Yeah, there's a couple
only
of
when it's
sections.
like really
Obnoxious.
obvious stuff. Yeah.
We should probably mention that this mod was made in large part by a guy in the Halo Runs community named Double Helix. He's a really cool guy. He made a lot
Yeah,
of.
absolute legend. He's basically we basically made a list of stuff that we wanted from the Halo 2 speedrun when it was coming to PC, and he was like, "Okay, BRB." He just made it all happen.
Yeah, he's a real
It's always nice
MVP.
to have people in your community like that that can make your game better.
Yeah. So that was Cairo. You normally on easy you wouldn't see all those sword fights and sword cancels and tricks on Cairo. It's on a normal run you would just walk that level basically, but same with this level. You don't really get a sword here normally on easy.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. So usually you don't have this much trouble with the snake jump.
Classic marathon. The snake jump's impossible in a marathon setting.
True, actually,
Tartarus
true,
knows it
yeah.
well. Go do light jump. What are you doing, bro? Good try, lucky. Hey, he gets it. Good try. So that nade jump saves 2 seconds, and he spent 10 seconds doing it. So it's a little bit unlucky, but we're chilling. So what he was actually trying to do there was a nade jump. It's
Oh my
something that's
God.
not obvious if you don't play Halo, but grenades and other explosions in this game push you back. So if you put an explosion underneath you and jump, you will be propelled upwards. And you can get extra height. So that's what
Blue,
the
you
grenade
have a
jump
sword,
is for.
right?
Dude, probably should have been practicing speed mod.
So there was an extra fly that he could have done here. Instead, he's doing a cool little slide jump. Another trick using Halo's mechanics is that incline surfaces can propel you forward with a well-timed jump and crouch.
Got a good cancel, at least.
Yeah. So get into the ghost section here. In a normal run, this would be like 3 minutes long, and it's gonna be shortened a bit because the second half of it is basically super boring, just driving in a straight line for a minute and a half. So
Yeah,
some of it will be removed, but the more interesting parts are still there.
yeah.
Same goes for the next level. It's instead of ending with the big straightaway, the next level will start with one. So we'll start like halfway through that as well.
Yeah.
This tunnel links up to the bridge. It's full of rats, if you know what I mean. But it beats swimming.
Just to be clear, that this modern category is separate from our standard full game categories. They're not
Yeah,
allowed to run alongside each other, and this mod is moderated. Obviously, it's not any mods are allowed. It's a specific mod, just as an extension category.
Yeah, it's really nice for doing stuff like races and tournaments as well, I think.
Yeah. So like the main reason we wanted this is because Halo 2 has like I think about 15 minutes of essential auto scroller and waiting, which
Yeah,
just make the
even
game
more, I think, yeah.
really like painful at times to run. This category cuts a lot of that out or speeds it up, and it just makes it so much better. So yeah, usually here the level is actually about to end once Blue gets around the next big corner. Usually you drive an extra minute and a half or so, but since it's essentially just driving in a straight line, we thought it's worth to just cut. So there we go, out of Outskirts, 252. Usually you'd be looking at around 420 for that level, so see how the things getting nice and quick.
Yeah, start across the bridge here on this level as well.
Yeah.
Cut out even more straight driving.
Straight into the action of the tunnel driving, which is one of the hardest driving sections in the game. Obviously, you probably shouldn't be driving into here. Bungie want you to hop out and walk over the barrier and clear these enemies, but they don't put in any hard barriers, so we just bring the hog through.
Yeah.
This is the first mission where we get to board a scarab. So in the last mission, the scarab is a huge vehicle, I guess, that's flying around and destroying stuff around you. This level,
Yeah,
we
it's
get
mostly
on
in
top of it.
the cutscene, right?
Yeah.
Don't really see it in the game.
It shoots through the hole in the tunnel, doesn't it? But
Yeah, I don't think that it's just a gun, right? It isn't actually there, I think.
yeah.
Something like that.
There's just like a scarab gun floating all the way out there.
Another little glitch here to save a bit of time is a nade board. Throw a grenade and board the wraith at the same time, and the nade will just go straight inside it with extra damage. Using the wraith to kill the other wraith. Shoot the phantom. Kill all the turrets and ghosts on the phantom. This door will open early and we can progress upstairs. We're prepared to board the scarab.
Yeah, once once the HUD fades here, we're essentially on a timer. We're just waiting for the scarab to come in.
Yeah.
Once it gets close enough, we can board it. And small change of the mod is normally you'd have to wait another 30 seconds or so once you get on the scarab for everything to spawn and to be able to end the level. But with the mod, everything's going to be spawned immediately.
Yeah, so there's a trick here called early scarab board. Be quiet, because I'm using a dialogue cube.
You got it?
Easy clap.
So don't
Get back smacked. Oh. Kinda close.
So yeah, you're actually meant to progress through an extra door here and
Shouldn't have said anything.
Commentator's curse, dude.
getting hit in the back, even on easy difficulty in Halo 2 is an instant kill.
that is a big revert as well. Checkpoints,
There are a number of Marines trapped in that building.
not the best in this game.
On the rakes, they're the biggest threat.
You get to see me do nade board again, though.
We do.
Oh, good.
So yeah, the building ahead of us is what we're actually meant to progress through. The game doesn't want us to get on the Scarab at this point. We're obviously using 2 grenade jumps to get on it very early.
Yeah, the combat in the Scarab's actually a lot more awkward, like on speed mod compared to the vanilla run, just because normally the enemies aren't
Scarab's
supposed to be
like
spawning.
moving up and down.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest gravity ever. That's my excuse.
Hey Strife. Yeah, so speed mod, it's a little category that we created to cut out a lot of the painful stuff in the Halo 2 game to make it actual more enjoyable speedrun.
Yeah, mainly removing auto scores is the biggest thing.
Yeah. Auto scrollers are gone, and we spawn with energy sword on every level. There's a lot of few small changes as well. So once we get to the big auto scrolls, we'll obviously be able to point out how the skips actually work and why they work, I guess. Why we want them.
That'd be a pretty much a normal time for Metro on regular. No speed mod.
Yeah. Coming into Arbiter. This level is almost identical to the regular Arbiter. There's not very
There's
much
only
changes.
Yeah, there's only 2 tiny changes. First one is this door. You'd have to wait like 10 seconds normally, and here it's gonna be near instant.
Yeah.
And the second change is right at the end of the level, to some RNG, which we'll point out then, I guess.
Yeah, we'll point it out once we get there.
Yeah.
Big sword fight at the start. Blue nails it, really clean.
Hit that elevator button through the wall, gets it started earlier.
So coming into here, I'm gonna be counting 7 sentinels, to trigger in the few rock grunts to come in. So
It's a big
once-
combat section.
yeah.
Yeah, the main bottleneck are the sentinels, so he's gonna be focusing on those primarily, and then once he's killed enough, he'll be switching his attention to the cavalry. Or the heretics, I mean.
Come on, bro,
Same
get
thing.
your lore. So that should be everything.
Pretty good hangar fight there.
Yep. Now progressing into a bunch of descending hallways in which we don't have to kill any enemies. We can just sword cancels. Progress as fast as possible.
Yeah, these hallways are kind of known for being quite movement intensive. Just gotta have, it's mainly sword cancels through these. Strategically doing them in the best possible places to get as far down as you can.
If you guys have a second, we have a donation.
Yeah, let it run.
We have $4 from Anonymous that says, did someone say HaloRuns.com?
Ooh.
Someone say HaloRuns.com?
HaloRuns.com. What is that, Dubza?
It's a fantastic website where you can look at all the best Halo speedruns. We track all the major Halo speedrun categories on HaloRuns.com. We have guides and forums as well if you're interested in those.
Yeah,
This
so that was
category that Blue is running. Oh, go on. Yeah, this is good.
yeah. So right there was the second implementation of the mod here on this level. Normally there's two doors there, and there's a 50% chance of getting either. And so you just gotta hope that you get the right door, and you lose like 10 seconds if you get the wrong one. But on speed one, both doors always open up, so you never have to worry about that.
Got a 314.
Pretty good arbiter actually. Yeah, 314.
Nice job.
Carried by speed mod.
So coming to Oracle. This is similar level of fighting the Heretics. This is as one of the biggest auto scrolls in the game. I think it's about 3 minutes. Oracle Elevator. People have
3.5,
tried.
I think, right?
Yeah, people have tried for years to find a way to skip it. No success has been found in solo. There is a skip for co-op solo.
Yeah. Found
But-
fairly recently actually. Like
Yeah,
less than a year ago, I think.
yeah, it's about a year ago.
Should probably be quiet.
I think I got it.
Okay, so he was setting up for a dialogue skip there. He killed the grunt at the start because they just have straight up dialogue that you want to skip, and then by exiting the door right at the exact time, you can probably explain this better actually, Dubzo, but
It's about a
you can-
0.5 second window, but if you exit the room, there's 2 sets of dialogue. Usually your ally talks first, and then the heretic leader talks, or maybe it's the other way around. But if we exit the room at the perfect time, they actually talk at the exact same time. They're just talking over each other. It's a weird skip. I don't know exactly how it works, but it saves about 8 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a big room here. Got to clear waves of the little infection forms. You may hear us called popcorn flood because they are essentially popcorn with legs.
So this is the elevator.
Did you
And-
switch
Very
to mouse for that, by the way?
Yeah. So I play the whole run on a controller, but just for that one section, I like to switch to KBM.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the elevator. Usually you have to sit on it for 3.5 minutes and wait for it to reach the bottom, or almost the bottom before dropping off. On this, we can just drop all the way down. Because essentially, usually there's a death barrier that despawns after about 3 minutes of sitting on the elevator. In this category, that death barrier is no longer in existence, so we can just drop all the way down from the top. Very carefully, I may add, Blue did a good job there, because it's very easy to drop off the map.
It's actually really sketchy. Almost
Yeah,
fell.
and then we're into lab fight. Huge combat section here, killing Heretic and Flood as they try to kill each other. Killing them in a specific order in order to get the minimal spawns. Once they're all dead, usually in this room you'd have to wait an additional minute of Flood spawns. In speed mod we remove that minute because it's just auto scroller again. This door should open immediately, as it does. Progress into this, and then progress into the second half of the level, which is much more movement intensive.
Yeah. I think this level probably has the most things skipped by the mod.
Yeah.
And it turns it from a kind of a boring level into, I think, one of the best.
Yeah, for sure. I think the world record for this level without the mod is like below 10 minutes, and then with the mod it's like 5 minutes. So
Yeah, it's basically cut out half of it.
and the bits that we cut out are just waiting. So it's really enjoyable level. Another combat section here. 3 sentinels and 4 flood in this room have to die before we can progress.
Dude, that was the craziest way I've seen someone clear that room.
As if you got that spawn clean.
Here's a cool little trick that you can do on the anniversary version only, which is a pressure launch off that elevator.
Yeah, so
The top.
the elevator, obviously you want to ride it up. If you send it up, you can call it back down. If we call it back down on our head, it doesn't kill us, it actually launches us. In this case, it launches us straight up, so we don't have to sit on it and wait, we just get fired straight up to the next room. Oh.
Yeah.
I
think you're a
forgot.
bit delayed, by the way.
I
you
am,
might wanna
I can't.
reconnect.
I can't. I've tried to I'll relaunch my VLC. But yeah, in this room we got to cut 3 cables. Usually, again, there's a wait between each cable of like 10 seconds before you can cut the next one. But in this mod, you can cut them all in tandem.
Yeah, so like I went for
Yeah, that-
cable launches there, and like you can do those in a regular playthrough. It just wouldn't save time.
Yeah, that's like my favorite room in Speed mod. It makes it so much more interesting. They can do the launches in between.
It's really great.
Oh, very nice cancel there.
And so
No,
across the
yeah.
map.
Tiny little Banshee section I got skipped there as well, which is just a hold forward section.
Yeah, Bungie really liked driving in straight lines in 04 for some reason.
Now this is actually the reverse of the previous level. It's the same hallways, but we're going up and there's different enemies now. That's a nice backup. This one.
Yeah. So in the first couple of Halo games, even in Halo 3, Bungie liked doing the levels in reverse and adding slightly different color tones to it.
Yeah, CE is definitely the main
Culprit for that. Yeah.
culprit. Yeah.
Again, there's meant to be a little cutscene actually at the end here before we kill the big boss, which dies in 1 sword lunge and a bullet, by the way, on easy. But we skip the cutscene automatically in this category. It gets the sub 6-minute Oracle. Really impressive. Going to Delta Halo, now this level is fantastic in speed mode because usually you don't get to spawn with a sword. When you do, you get to do some crazy sword flies.
Yeah, Delta changes a lot, at least for the beginning, purely just because of the sword. Like, not even any like really auto scroll changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't have any changes other than the sword, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, unfortunate mirror stop. So a slight like caveat of the sword cancels and sword flies is the enemy that you do them off has to be standing still. Standing still or moving in a direction like straight towards you, or you're going to get what we call a mirror stop, where you just stop right over the enemy's head, and you won't be able to get cancel the fly and go over their head like we want to most of the time.
Sometimes we will force mid-air stops if we do want to stop at the enemy by looking directly down. You may see that later in the run, but most of the time that they are unwanted. Fat Ghost, I believe, was that.
Really fortunate checkpoint though.
Yeah, you pretty much always get that on speed mod. So basically here you're meant to go into the building that we went past and activate a bridge to come down. It takes way too long, so we throw a grenade and drive over it and it boosts our Ghost across the gap, saving a huge amount of time versus lowering
Yeah,
it.
there's like a bunch of variations of how you do that ghost launch. Blue did the second fastest.
Yeah. So you might be like, why is he going backwards here? He's going up the mountain. So he went down to hit a trigger. There's a few necessary triggers on this level you have to hit before you can complete it. Once he hits the trigger, he returns and we pass over the mountain to skip a huge section of level and get into the end part of the level as fast as possible. Again, he's going to be dropping in a second and backing up to get another trigger down at the waterfall.
Yeah, second half of this level is really broken. You basically just go out of the level and dip back in whenever you need to hit like some little trigger.
Yeah.
The game forces you to, and then you just go straight back out.
It's odd. The Covenant know we
Just
need
into
rainfall,
the
but
end of the
watch
level
yourself
now.
for us, it's a serious threat. Boy, are they in for a big surprise.
Kill the 2 elites and that's Delta Halo done.
Yeah, actually kill those guys in a specific way, jumping up to the right balcony there before shooting the second rocket. Because normally there'd be more spawns after you kill them, but if you're standing right where they're supposed to spawn, then they get skipped.
Yeah. Bungie doesn't like spawning enemies on top of you, so if you get to their spawn point and then trigger their spawn, they usually won't spawn. There's another version of that on this level as well. So the level's gonna be a big one.
So
Yeah,
you are
maybe-
doing? Are you doing the thing?
Nah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So this is the only gondola that we'll have to ride in the level because normally that you do a trick here, so it's not sped up because just so you would be able to set up for the trick in the mod.
Yeah.
But
Blue's
blue,
electing not to do the trick because it's very hard and it costs a lot of time if it doesn't go well.
It's really not marathon friendly. If I don't get a
Yeah.
checkpoint, it'll be like I'll get reverted to the very start of the level. The
Yeah,
trick is
'cause
literally
you
delaying it.
intentionally
Yeah, go
you
ahead.
intentionally avoid these checkpoints on this gondola to force a deload, and by doing so, if you mess up the trick, then you're going back to the start of the level and it's around 2 minutes long. So
This
I'd rather
light
just
couldn't have been forced
clear it
by
like
volcanic
like
action, which
Bungie
means it
wants
was
us
either
to.
built this way on
Although
purpose
it's
or
not
it was
really how
abandoned
Bungie
by
wants
some
us to,
other
because we're on the
company.
wrong gondola. We've now hopped over to
Sorry,
the second
were you
gondola, which
trying
is
to
what
say something?
we're meant to be on. If you clear the full section of the first part of the level.
yeah.
You know,
But instead we
how did
did the sword
foreigners
cancel to
build
get
these
onto the
new
second
structures
gondola
along the
early
way?
that was
To
meant to be
protect them,
leaving,
honor them.
and then we hop over to this
Pure
one,
speculation,
the
mind you.
halfway point
I'd need
rather
to
than
make a
all the
thorough
way back at
survey
the
to
start.
be sure.
So he's doing a redirect fly here instead, which is a cool strat in its own right. We do a sword fly to an enemy, but we put a wall between ourselves and the enemy. The wall pushes us off to the side and it allows us to land in a more optimal location. So here, instead of wanting to fly directly to the enemy, we actually want to fly to the balcony where the fuel rod gun spawns. So that's what Blue's gonna be trying to do here.
Oh my god.
That was so sketchy.
Okay.
So yeah, you see how he redirected right in the balcony.
Wow, nice.
Forgot about the drones.
Dude,
Pepe.
how did neither of y'all call me out for forgetting the drones?
I-
Looks like
We're
we're going
talking,
down.
dude. You're the one who's meant to be playing.
Bro, no, you're my coaches.
I said this is gonna be a very zoomy underwater section here.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
think of-
usually we hop into the submarine, and it travels really slow, and we're just meant to enjoy the underwater section that Bungie's created. But instead, it travels really fast here.
I've
Yeah.
intercepted a secure
It's a
transport
bit
from regret
tricky one to
carrier,
skip
something
through other
called
means, so
high charity.
you see a couple
Seems to be a
places where
formal
the
apology to
gondola or
province's
whatever
truth
elevator
and
we're
mercy.
riding on is just sped up.
Apparently,
Yeah, we speed stuff up
Regret
rather than
jumped the
skipping
gun
it
when he attacked
entirely.
Earth.
Makes it a little
He's
bit more
asking other
bearable.
prophets
So it's going at
to
2.5
forget
times
his
speed here.
premature
If it looks a
arrival,
little bit weird, that's
arguing
why.
that no human
I think it
presence
still
was
looks kind of
acceptable.
natural.
That explains why there were so few ships in his
Yeah, I think
service.
the only part that
Odd,
looks
a
really
prophet
weird
had
is when
such
it just
bad
comes
intel
up
about his enemy's
out of
homeland.
the water like super quickly.
We have a couple more donations if you guys
Yeah,
have some time.
go ahead, go ahead.
We've got $20 from Jangoost, who says, "Good luck on the run, Blue. Don't drop your controller on Regret Fight again."
Thanks, Jack.
And then we just have $15 from Anonymous with no comment.
Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you, Jangoost.
Yeah, thank you. What was he talking about there, Blue? The top controller? Not sure I understand.
So, sometime recently, I was 5 minutes ahead of my legendary PB, and I had a perfect regret boss fight. It was actually pretty sick. I was about to be like 6 minutes ahead of my PB.
Don't get ahead of yourself. It was alright. It was average, alright?
Okay, listen, my PB may have been a
No, it was
159. The
clean, it was clean.
people don't need to
Regret's
know that.
carrier just received a response
Yeah,
from High
I
Charity.
dropped my controller and I
Very
killed
well
myself.
adjusted
It was
message from the
awesome.
prophet of truth.
Run was
Yeah, your controller
instantly
dropped
dead.
onto the grenade
Your
button,
haste
right?
has
And it bounced
jeopardized
off the
the
wall and
fulfillment
stuck
of our
yourself.
covenant.
Yeah, you can even
Threatened
see
our
I had my
grand
controller
design,
display on.
that
You
you
could
be
literally
spared a
see
public
both
display
my
on
triggers
his
get
head,
hit and like
thanks
both my
only to
bumpers.
mercy and his wise counsel. Truth, mercy, regret. 3 prophet hierarchs.
So this is
Shake
so
the covenant
we
leader.
didn't skip the last gondola
Sounds
ride,
like you might be doing
but
things
this
a
next
favor.
gondola ride is literally just gonna trigger a cutscene, and we're gonna
skip forwards.
yeah.
So the button that usually allows the gondola to start moving instead just takes us to the cutscene before the regret boss fight. This gondola moving is like a minute and a half of just waiting essentially. You kill a couple of enemies, but there's not really much to it. So I thought it made sense to just send us to the boss fight.
Multiple waves of phantoms. Too many for me to track.
The boss fight on easy, by the way, is not much of a boss fight. Regret dies easier than most enemies, to be honest.
Yeah, all the boss fights on easy are just jokes.
Yeah.
Bad news. The phantoms are
Board him
turning
once,
around,
punch him in the
but
head, and he's
preparing to
dead.
Fire on our position. We need to get out of here.
One cool thing there, we did get to do a sword fly to him, which is that was exciting. Blue hit that nicely.
Yeah, recently patched in.
Yeah, wasn't originally an MCC. Sub 6 minute regret. That's really good.
And I think apart from, well, yeah, apart from Delta Halo or maybe Cairo, this is the level that changes the most as well, having a sword at the start.
Yeah, there's a few sword tricks that you can do on this level. I don't know if Blue's gonna go for them all because they're quite risky.
I'm not gonna do any like the main hall ones because those are just. Is there any way to make them consistent?
I think if you jump really late on them, they tend to work. But
Yeah, it's way
there's a few
too
sword flies you
sketchy.
can do in the upcoming hallways, but the thing that you're flying to is directly above a fall to your death. And if you get a mid-air stop, which happens relatively often, you'll drop into the hole and die. So he's opting not to do those sword flies for the sake of not having to go back to the start of the level.
Marathon safety, it's for you guys.
Exactly.
Big, scary thing! Run away!
Get some nice nade boosts instead. For this gondola, you have to hit all the 4 little pistons on the side. He's actually making sure to like, he picked up a carbine there, not just to like, so he wouldn't have to reload, but also, just to save on rocket ammo. Because they wanted to kill an enforcer coming up, which is those big robots.
Say this gondola, like the one on the last level, last the underwater gondola anyway, it's sped up, so we travel really fast here. Instead of having to just wait. Kill the second enforcer. An
Hopefully
enemy
these
unique to
rockets
Halo
don't
2.
troll.
Ooh, the carbine's got deloaded.
Yep, and the rocket choked.
Should have waited for it to stop. Just stick him, you got this.
Oh man, there's no way I almost just stuck myself.
Okay. Oh, I can't believe you killed him with a sword.
Yeah, I didn't expect that
That's
to
the
work.
first I've ever seen anyone kill an
I've
enforcer
tried.
with an enemy.
Okay, I've tried killing an enforcer with a sword before. It took like 2 minutes of swording him, so he must have been so low health there for that to work.
So right now, the runner is playing on PC, although he's using a controller. His controllers are considered to be easier for the sword flies that he's doing.
Yeah, I think for the most part, it's just most runners used to play on Xbox, right? So they're just like used to controllers, the main thing.
Yeah.
But there are like a few newer runners who play on
the run's
mouse and keyboard
definitely
as well.
mouse and keyboard accessible. There's a lot of top runners that do run on mouse and keyboard. Just the nature of Halo being a console exclusive for so long.
Yeah. The dual magnums.
Yeah, look at Arbiter's hands with dual magnums. I don't know why this.
I haven't even. Oh,
Should've kept the dual magnum.
can't unsee that now. What the hell? Oh wow, that was Wait, okay, you choked. But that was sick. Oh my.
Yeah.
You've had so many cancels where you just like somehow just missed it.
Are you? Do you get that consistently? Did you go for that, or
Oh
did
no,
that
that
just
was
happen?
completely
Okay.
random.
Ah,
What?
okay.
Alright, I get to
No,
go
you
for it
missed the
again.
No, oh
popcorn.
my god, he got eaten. Oh no.
We get to see Albert's hands again at least with the magnum.
Was he stuck
I've never,
inside of me? Or
I've never. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I haven't seen anyone die to that before.
I've never
Yeah.
died to a
Yeah,
popcorn on
so
SI.
on easy, like one of the few ways that you can die easily is to the popcorn flood if you're low shield. So I didn't see exactly how he lost shields, but blue was with no shields and a popcorn came around the corner and
Oh, you
one-shot
hit
him.
the sentinel, didn't you? I thought
Yeah.
you were one
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, the sentinel
I've
got
never
his
died to
shield.
a popcorn there before though.
I
I
don't know
didn't
how
even
popcorn spawned, but
That's funny. So this is the point in the level where you get a sword in the regular run. But, so you'd have to do like the whole mission on foot or just
yeah.
walking.
So this is a thing that Bungie probably thought everyone would love, which is sliding down these big tubes. The game makes you invulnerable whilst you're in these tubes, so that you can not die to fall timer, which is something that exists to stop you from able to kill you when you fall in.
Yeah, does that in didn't mention it because it's not too important on easy difficulty, but on Oracle as well. Like during one of the elevator rides, the game makes you invincible as well. And you may remember we did that big pressure launch, which actually glitches it so it never takes the invulnerability off us. So we were actually like invincible for half
Yeah.
of Oracle.
Second half of Oracle, you can just chill, 'cause you can't die. Nice cancel to cross the gap here, save a bit of time and go into the end fight. So this is where another major change with the mod was made. So usually in the end fight there's two waves. It's completely random how many enemies spawn in said waves. It's usually 2 enemies, 4 enemies, or 6. You can spawn from any of the 6 holes on this, well, 6 parts of this end area. For this mod you get enemies waves of 2 for each of the waves, which makes it way more consistent. Removes the frustration of losing time to complete randomness.
Yeah, I think this is the only, apart from the door on Arbor, this is the only other RNG change, I think.
Yeah.
just waiting for the next wave here.
He's looking to the 4 corners because that's usually where the enemies will spawn. And you see the 2 enemies that spawn, those are the last 2. And then we wait a short while for your allies to arrive in a phantom, at which point the level will end. Yeah, also in this section on MCC, enemies can get stuck in the holes, so reducing the number of enemies spawning can reduce the amount of stupid stuff that happens to the runner. Sacred Icon going to Quarantine Zone, which is a driving level. Going to be in the Ghost for the entirety of the level.
Yeah, this is the biggest auto scroller skip in the run.
Yeah.
There's a
So,
gondola at the end of this level that's about, what is it? It's like 5.5 minutes.
yeah, for it to go all the way to the end, it's like 5 minutes 30. So yeah, Bungie just put you on this big gondola in this huge open area, passing through, heading towards a library. On the way, they keep throwing flood at you, but
Yeah.
during the speedrun, we just get into a spot where we can't die, and then we sit there for 5 minutes and wait. Since
Yeah,
that's not very optimal, we skip.
on the flip side though, like the first 2.5 minutes of the level before you get on the gondola is actually like really interesting. I think.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's probably
Just
the best, one of the best driving games in the entire franchise. It's driving levels. Really really nice ghost driving. Take the ghost into an area where Bungie don't want us to, but again they don't put any hard barriers. They do let us get it through. So that's the section we're coming into now. Just pass around this wall that's here to stop the vehicles. drive on through. So yeah, once we get to the gondola, where usually we'd obviously get onto the gondola and wait for the 5 minutes, instead the level will just go to the end cutscene and we'll be going into Grave Mine, so... Just coming up after... Big driving section, good driving so far.
Yeah,
Blue.
getting
Very
through
clean.
that middle bit was very good. That's like one of the hardest bits to do cleanly. Now
Yeah,
getting
but-
out of the inside section here. Gotta go over these boxes. Getting stuck a bit. Should be okay.
I have a passing view. Just take him to the straightaway. Oh no, he jumped off.
He had enough of hitting you. Yeah, in Halo 2, that's one of the things that they introduced was vehicle hijacks. You can hijack enemy vehicles, but they can also hijack you. On easy, it's not too big of a problem, as you can see there. He was really struggling to do much damage to us, but on legendary, 1 or 2 of those smacks and we would have been dead.
Oh, you go left here?
Do you go right?
Yeah,
You mean
everyone goes
everybody
right.
goes right. I'm
Everybody-
about to leave the call, to be honest.
Bro, I've gone
Who goes
left
there?
forever.
That is gross.
Bro, I've always gone left. I didn't know people go right. The
No
heck?
matter how fast this runs trash now.
You guys are weird, dude.
So again, sword is pretty nice on this level. We also spawn with a fuel rod, which allows for a skip that hopefully we'll get in this room. So this room we kill 2 grunts, 2 brutes, and then usually we'd have multiple waves. But if we stand in this particular spot in the middle of the room, the game doesn't... I think it works because the game doesn't know where we are. It doesn't think we're in the room, so it doesn't actually bother to spawn these enemies. Very weird, but we essentially skip in 2 waves of enemies by standing in that specific spot. And then the final wave of enemies comes up the lift. Blue kills them fast enough, he'll skip 2 last enemies. I think you got it right.
Nah. 2 last enemies.
Oh, 1 on easy, sorry, I was playing legendary, wasn't I? Yeah.
But yeah. You could usually skip like the requirement to kill this 3rd brute if you kill those 2 on the elevator fast enough.
Yeah.
He'll still spawn in, but he's just chilling out while you listen to dialogue.
Oh, there you go. Cryfin in the chat explains why the wave skip works.
Well, why does it work when you're inside the room then with the other logo? Huh?
I think it's completely central in the other axes. Anyway, so because we have the sword here, we get to do a little sword fly, save a bit of time.
Pick up beam rifle there. We'll need the longer range of the beam rifle in a little bit.
Yeah, there's some very long distance sword flies on the back half of this level. Save huge amounts of time. So we're coming up to a section where there's a lift which takes us down to the prison, as we call it. Normally we have to do some whack stuff and to be able to skip the prison. Prison is no more. Heading into the second half of the level now, which is all movement based. It's brilliant to play and watch, in my opinion. So.
Yeah.
Hopefully Blue nails it.
Oh, putting the pressure on him, Jesus, man.
Come on, bro.
Wait, what happened? Did something happen on stream?
I don't know, dude.
What are we watching?
I think there was a raid or something.
I have like my OBS covering Twitch, so I just saw like the top 10 of that.
Random muffin appeared on stream, apparently. What? Oh no. Unfortunately, we tried to do a sword fly to pass over that entire section, but unfortunate mid-air stop means we drop down.
I accidentally switched to a webcam feed of muffin eating. Damn, I'm glad I didn't. I'm sorry. Or I'm
I
sad I
think-
didn't catch that. Oh!
Guys.
Blue! Oh.
Well, that's the second back smack of the run.
So well,
And
at
that's
least the viewers get to see what they missed when they were watching some dude eat a muffin.
Yeah, exactly.
We figured you guys needed your run blessed by a muffin, so.
Oh
we
no, I
made it
really
happen.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you want us to be quiet, Blue, so you can focus?
Nah, you're good.
That's like one of the you can't die here or you get reverted so far back. You don't get a
Yeah.
checkpoint for like 3-4 straight minutes here.
Yeah, these huge flies are awesome and stuff, but because we're flying over certain triggers and stuff, we very rarely get checkpoints.
It was actually nice for lag flies, so I'm not gonna get screwed by that.
So this time, yeah, he gets the actual fly over the section. Called it lag fly, that's because on the original version of Halo 2 it lags like crazy there. You're getting like 10 FPS.
Yeah.
Kids are blessed in 2021 where we can play Halo 2 on like 500 FPS.
So do I do grunt fly or what?
Yeah, go for it, dude. Of course.
Marathon luck. Pause.
I'll scream if you hit it.
Yo, Sinister said if I mid-air stop, I save 8 seconds, so there we go.
8 seconds save, pause.
True. Hey, it didn't fall down at least, so you didn't
Yeah.
lose time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually did save time, I think, with that, like 1 second. So we got a couple of flyers coming here. Another one, the second of these two flyers is another redirect flyer where we're putting a wall between ourselves and the enemy in order to redirect ourselves to a better angle to head to this door. Hopefully he gets it.
Can be a bit random with the enemies there, like sometimes they're fighting between each other so that they're being slightly different spots all the time and sometimes they'll hide.
Yeah, thankfully we didn't have to deal with that. Since this sub-8 grave mine pace, pretty clean.
Nice little fly there. You only have, well, I guess on H2A you have a bit more tries because you get some turn actually. Like you want to get that first try or you're gonna mid-air stop usually.
Last big fly before this end fight where there's 3 elite ultras, at least 3 brutes and 2 hunters. Breaking Benjamins playing in the background, it's all hype. But we have a fuel rod and we have an energy sword, so we kill them all in like 30 seconds at most. That was really
Yeah,
clean by Blue there.
kill them in a specific order as well. Avoids extra spawns.
Yeah. Save the brutes until last, because if you kill the brutes first, then more brutes spawn.
Yeah, so basically like they're supposed to be fighting between the brutes and the elites, but Bungie knew the elites are way stronger when it's all ultras, so they made more brute spawn once they die. So by saving the brutes for last, we avoid those extra ones.
725 grave mine isn't even good without speed mod.
Oh, it's clean, dude, it's clean. Heading into Uprising, another sword fly based level. This level should be done in under 2 minutes. I'm putting pressure on you, Blue. If you don't do it in under 2 minutes, then I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're doing a bunch of sword flies and cancels, and then we actually skip a huge amount of the level at the end, but we'll wait until we get to that.
Look at what the pressure does, dude. Look what you did to me. That's all
You can still get
right
sub
there.
tier, it's fine. You can still get sub tier.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But now you can't choke anything, man. So
Yeah, it's literally. I gotta get the IL
like
or the
140
segmented
pace,
cancel
no?
right here.
You don't.
you gotta get everything frame perfect now.
I could have gotten it there if I just got the mirror stop. Dubzo, how do you do this coil boost with a fuel rod?
I don't.
What do
I
you
pick up
do?
carbine.
What a loser.
Whoa.
This is like what? This is like the most common level for like someone new to the game to play, because it's like a really short level and has all the fundamentals like sword flies and cancels. So
Oh, he's going for Jackal fly. Look at this man.
oh, looks like he's got it. Yep,
Oh, let's go.
nice
Clean.
one.
Flying up onto the mountain. So here there's a huge amount of the game still left to play. But Bungie is a little bit... Well, they're good. They're good. So they put in the end trigger right from the start of the level. It's just chilling. And it extends really high up. So we're actually meant to be at the bottom of this canyon. But if we crouch edge of this mountain, we hit the end trigger from above. And that's Uprising done. He got it under sub 2 minutes as well. He clutched up. Good job, Blue. Good job.
Let's go.
Yes,
I
Deuce,
guess
about a year ago, oh no, it was about 2 years ago now, was it 3 years ago? Some time ago, the sword flying was patched back into Master Chief Collection, thankfully. So this is all available on Master Chief Collection, it's available on PC, if you want to do this stuff.
yeah. So if you've seen runs of this game before, like somewhat recently, you may know there's like a skip here that normally you do in runs to skip this whole level. But since this category is more focused on like sword movement and all the more fun stuff in the run, this trick isn't really done in speed mod runs.
It's essentially banned, butterflies are banned, we don't talk about them.
Yeah.
It's 2014 again.
Good old days, any boomers. Yeah, again, this level, bunch of sword movement, mainly sword cancels, but yeah, sword flyers also. Ton of corridors, ton of enemies. We're just gonna be flying on through.
Oh, unfortunate with that flood.
Human flood.
Parasite did not defeat the Forerunners, and it shall not defeat us.
Arrogant creature. Your deaths will be instantaneous.
This level still
While we
creeps me out, man. It's so dark and scary.
Yeah, dude, turn on the new graphics so you can see what's going on. Go on, what are you doing?
Dude, it's probably gonna crash my game.
Whosoever is led by fear, take heed.
No, it'll be
I
fine.
am
Let's give it a try.
and I am not afraid.
Yep, frozen. Give it a sec.
Is
There
it
we
froze?
go.
Okay.
There we go.
So yeah, Halo 2 Anniversary, obviously you got the remastered graphics as you're seeing right here. Gorgeous new graphics made in 2014. 10-year anniversary of the game. We opted not to use these for the majority of the run, but
Yeah, you saw why there. It causes a massive freeze a lot of the time. And it's kind of harder to see what's going on most of the time. This level's probably the only exception where it's probably easier to see what's going on in the new graphics, because it's a lot brighter.
Look how pretty that is, though.
yeah, the one thing we didn't mention on this level, these lifts travel way faster on speed mod, so we're not wasting time sitting in these lifts.
Yeah.
Swordfly here to the end of the level. And that's the last level we play as Master Chief. We didn't even mention the fact that we were switching characters, but we were. That's the Master Chief's end of his story for Halo 2. Going to the
Master Chief
final
story run completed.
Yeah.
It's the guy from Fortnite, right?
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, So coming to Great Journey, which is the actual final level, where Arbiter gets his revenge against the brute leader, Tartarus. Before that, we gotta progress through. So this level, focus on a Scarab again. This time we're gonna be controlling it, or Sergeant Johnson will. As we head
We won't
towards...
get to see any of that
No, we won't.
because it's all an auto scroller.
It's skipped. Yeah, progressing here. First thing to do is to kill a couple of Wraiths here. Be a little annoying sometimes, hopefully not.
I'm gonna get
Sword helps, though.
robbed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nobody took my ghost.
Oh, dude, nice bounce.
It's alright, you can sword fly off of it. Yeah, nice. So once you kill those 2 Wraiths, the remaining brutes can be left as the door is now open. We go back and grab our ghost, because again, probably shouldn't be bringing vehicles in here, but the ghost is small enough. Sneak it on through the corridors, it's faster than walking.
Faster than doing sword flies too. By a little bit.
Yeah, so gap jump,
Okay, good enough.
you got it. So we
That's
take
like
the ghost over that
super
gap.
scary. Yeah.
It's really tricky, especially on 2 Master Chief Collection. But blue gets it there, nicely done. Driving across the bridge can be tricky, and we were not supposed to have a ghost here, so
Yeah, it can be a bit awkward, but
get
it's,
through.
yeah.
In this room there's multiple brutes, we only have to kill 3 of them, at which point the door will open. We can progress into the...
I thought I killed him.
Hiding behind the box.
So I'm gonna make sure to grab a beam here before this cutscene clears.
Smart, smart. So yeah, once you kill these 4 brutes, we head into a cutscene, and usually there's like 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes of auto-scroller again. Instead of that, we just skip straight to the final boss fight, because, yeah, we don't like auto-scrollers in this category. He grabbed a beam rifle there, which is really important, because in the fight with Tartarus, only beam rifle will remove his shield before you can actually do direct damage to him. So usually that beam rifle comes from Sergeant Johnson, but instead we're going to do it ourselves, because Johnson is rubbish.
Yeah. Just like the other boss fights on easy, Tartarus is a bit of a joke.
Yeah. 3 shotgun shots and he will die.
Or 4.
Time's
Or in
coming
this
up
case
on
here,
this white screen.
maybe a white screen.
GG.
And that's it. GG's, mate.
GG blue. You beat estimate.
Let's go. Thanks for commentating, guys. I really appreciate carrying it.
Thanks for letting us do it. Nice run, man.
That was Halo 2, but modded to be more enjoyable speedrun. If you want to check out the leaderboards for this, they're on speedrun.com. Look at the Halo 2 category extensions on there. If you want to look at the actual full game, more competitive leaderboards, go to haloruns.com.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having us, guys. See you later.